In this shadow-soaked southern suspense, a silver-tongued serial-killing preacher stalks two scared siblings who are hiding a stolen fortune. It's a haunting hunt through faith, fear, and front porches, proving that sometimes the scariest thing knocking at your door is carrying a Bible and a smile.
That was a lot of awesome alliteration.
Thank you very much. I try. That was my plot in a pinch. Ray, what lovely tune do you have for us today?
Well, just sit right back and you'll hear a tale.
Well, yes. Take it away, Ray.
Just sit right back and you hear a tale of two cellmates. One told that he stole 10 grand before he met his fate. The other, who craved the stolen cash, had love and hate on his fingers. Then he got released and headed east, posing as a preacher. The holy man carried out his plan and married and killed the wife. But her kids saw through his subterfuge and ran for their lives. Kids ended up at the home of this shotgun-toting dame. And when the man came to finish the job, she held him off and saved the day. He got jailed, and the kids escaped a grisly fate on a hunter's night. End.
That was beautiful. I mean,
Thank you.
that was excellent, my friend.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Forgotten Films. Welcome to Forgotten Films, the podcast where we dust off the VHS boxes, crack open a cold one, and revisit the movie's time left behind. Each episode, we take a fresh look at an overlooked, underrated, or nearly forgotten film to find out whether it's forgotten or forgotten for a reason. I am Jed, and I am your Chief Rewind Officer.
And I am Ray, assistant to the assistant manager of Lost Classics.
And today we take another trip through cinema's lost and found to bring you today's feature presentation. Today's feature presentation is 1955's The Night of the Hunter, starring Robert Mitchum and Shelley Winters.
And also starring Lillian Gish, who was a silent scream queen, and also Peter Graves in a small role.
Yes.
If you remember him from Mission Impossible. It's directed by Charles Laughton, who's more well known as a great actor.
Mm-hmm.
And this is the one film that he solely directed.
One film.
And it was released by United Artists in 1955, and it runs 93 minutes.
93 minutes. All right. Well, that was the quick rundown. That's our show. Good night, ladies and gentlemen. Crack a cold one. Now it's time for the back of the box. Let's flip over the VHS box and read what's on the back.
Beware of false hold on.
I don't know what happened there.
Wow, that was frightening.
Hello?
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay, there you
no
go.
idea. I had something in my throat.
Yeah, monster in your throat.
Okay. Here it is. Beware of false prophets, which come to you in sheep's clothing. Thus begins this tense, powerful screen chronicle depicting the timeless struggle of good and evil, and the triumph of spirit over will. Charles Laughton brilliantly directs this powerful melodrama starring Robert Mitchum as a psychopathic preacher in relentless pursuit of two children who possess their dead father's stolen fortune. Mitchum's murdering minister claims the children's crusting mother as one of his many victims. Screen legend Lillian Gish is the kindly woman who provides a temporary refuge for the orphaned children. Celebrated author James Agee wrote the riveting screenplay, hauntingly photographed by Stanley Cortez. The eerily beautiful score by Walter Schumann heightens the mood of malevolence and adds creeping suspense to every scene. A true cinematic masterpiece, hailed as one of the most frightening movies ever made.
Just one thing we always want to put right here is our spoiler alert. That's right. We try not to spoil too many things, but in this movie, there are going to be some. So Once again, spoiler alert. Okay, now let's get on to the commentary track.
Here's what worked, what didn't, and everything in between.
Well, let's just start right off at the beginning. The movie opens. It's beautiful. It's a black and white film, for starters, which I have no opposition to watching black and white films.
A lot of people do, but
Right.
but that shouldn't keep you from watching the film. A good film is a good film.
Correct. And actually, I think the black and white works to this movie's credit
Yes.
because it's a film noir.
Yes.
So right off the very beginning, you've got the beautiful shot of the sky, the night sky. And then all of a sudden, these disembodied floating heads come out of nowhere.
Yeah, and you're like, what the hell is that?
I don't know.
Why are floating heads of children on the screen? What is that guy doing? What is that?
Well, okay. I should preface this by this is another one of those films where Ray had seen it before and I had not. And, I always like that because I get to see it with fresh eyes, just like some of you might be doing. But yes, right off the bat, swinging out the gates, disembodied floating heads of a woman and some children.
Yes.
So,
They're being told a story.
yes.
This basically, I guess, it's like a fairy tale, what she's telling them. And the movie is kind of like a very dark fairy tale. So it starts out kind of, creepy with kids floating heads. And then it goes right into the story.
That's right. And what is the story? We kind of talked about it a little bit. What's one of the first things that we see?
One of the first things we see is there's kids out playing. There's two kids, there's a brother and a sister, probably less than 10 years old, around 10, maybe 6 years old for the girl. And suddenly they hear sirens and they hear cars, and a car pulls into their yard. And this is in the middle of nowhere, kind of like, what would you think, like Louisiana or something? A very swampy area. And their father jumps out of the car. We hear sirens coming, so we know he's done something. And he's got a lot of cash. And he basically tells the kids, hide this cash and never tell anyone about it, not even your mother.
That's right. And he makes them both promise, the son and the daughter, swear to it.
Right. And it's $10,000, which nowadays doesn't seem like a lot to do what he did to get that money.
But this was in what year?
But
In the
it's 55.
Well, the movie was made in 55, but the movie was set in 1930s.
Oh, okay.
So if you use inflation for that, it's like $200,000 that he stole.
Makes a lot more sense when you have that.
That's right.
In your mind. That the guy's basically killed people and stolen $200,000.
Yeah.
And basically, it's set during the Depression. The reason why he committed this crime is he was tired of seeing kids going hungry, and especially his kids.
That's right.
So he stole the money. He comes to them, tells them to hide it, never tell anyone. He gets arrested and sent to prison. And this is where we meet the character that Robert Mitchum plays.
Yes. And just to set the scene for you, I mean, it doesn't really give it away here on the poster, but I'm going to give you my own little synopsis of what he was wearing. The preacher was dressed like the creepy old guy from Poltergeist 2.
Oh my God. No wonder that's so freaky.
Right? I want to say it's probably, I'm sure Poltergeist 2 was the direct inspiration from this.
Because when you think about it, wow, when you think about it, that's pretty frightening.
Yeah. He's not wearing the hat and the jacket and the poster here.
He cuts quite a profile in silhouette. He's shot a lot in silhouette and darkness, and his silhouette really scary. And if you've ever seen Poltergeist 2 and that old man, one of the most chilling villains in any movie, and it comes from this guy. He's also one of the most chilling villains in any movie.
Yes.
And so basically their father gets taken to jail, and we meet Robert Mitchum's character, who we find out right at the beginning, he's talking to God.
Yes.
And basically he admits, while talking to God, that he's already killed, 6 dozen women? A dozen women?
Yeah.
And he feels like he's doing it for God.
That's right. He's asking the Lord, who do you want me to go preach to now? Another widow, another lonely old lady? He's setting the tone.
Yeah. He hates women.
Yep.
He thinks women are nasty and dirty.
Yeah.
And he's doing this for God, which very terrifying.
It is very
He's on a mission from God, kind of like one of the Blues Brothers.
This is the wrong kind of mission from God.
And he gets arrested for the car that he's driving in is stolen So he gets arrested, and guess whose cell he ends up in?
Who's that?
The kid's father.
That's right.
Only the kid's father, because he murdered people, he's been sentenced to death.
Right. He's on death row, but they just mix all these people in, whether you're serving 30 days or going to going to the death.
Exactly. Yeah. If
You're all sitting
jaywalk,
together.
you just kind of throw in with a serial killer.
Murderers and loiterers just all mixing
Get
together.
a bunch of parking tickets. You're thrown in with a mass murderer. Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
And so basically
Different times.
The father in his sleep keeps talking about all the cash that he stole, which catches Robert Mitchum's character's attention. He wants to know where that money is. The guy realizes he's trying to get the information out of him, and he doesn't tell him. But he does give up enough information that he has kids, and he has a wife, and even where he's from. So
he starts putting it together. He starts putting his plan together,
And so basically he sets out to get that money, which means probably killing the mother and the kids.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what sets up the story.
Right. And so, so we're all introduced to this right off the bat. And he's one of these guys, he starts off in when we're introduced to him by whistling or singing a tune, right? And it's nighttime. Mm-hmm. These kids are going to bed. The kid looks out the window because he hears somebody singing this song, which is just creepy to begin with.
Yes. This guy just kind of standing in their front yard and just singing.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's some nightmare fuel to begin with.
I wish I could remember the song.
Right.
It's a religious song.
Yeah.
I wish I could remember it, though.
Even if, I don't know, even if you're singing Yankee Doodle Dandy out there.
Outside of kids'
it's creepy. The mother works in a
candy store.
Yeah, candy store, a sweet shop, and
for a horrible woman.
Yes, well, it's a couple that owns it, and the couple's last name is Spoon. By the way, Spoon. I could not figure out why.
Yeah, I know
the word Spoon was on this candy store, and then I finally figured out that's their last name. It was driving me crazy.
Yeah,
it makes no sense. Who would name their candy store Spoon?
I just called her Busybody Crone. I didn't know her name.
The husband that she's married to is fine. He's a very reasonable, head on his shoulder kind of guy, voice of reason kind of guy. She is not. She is.
When we meet her, she's a widow because her husband gets hanged.
Oh, yes. Right. That's right.
For his crimes.
Right.
And so she's a widow.
And she's working.
For 3 days?
She's working for this couple at this sweet store.
And she has 2 kids.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's been a couple of days. So the boss starts hounding her, that she needs to get married. She needs a man.
That's right. You're an old maid.
And so what happens? Robert Mitchum comes into town.
That's right.
And he's dressed as a preacher.
And he goes to where? The candy store. And the kids are not there yet. But the kids walk in just like they do every day at a certain time. And they immediately, or at least the son immediately recognizes who this guy is.
Or knows he's up to no good.
Right. Well, he recognizes him from the...
Oh, yeah, and he saw him outside his window.
Yeah, from seeing him outside of his window. And so, he from the get-go just has a standoffish kind of attitude towards him.
And the daughter immediately loves him.
Yes. And, he's playing to his strengths.
And then the mother is kind of pressured into being with him.
Right.
And getting married.
Well, they invite him first of all to a like a picnic kind of a barbecue or something like that.
Oh, yeah.
Picnic thing.
Karaoke thing.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. And you didn't have your iTunes. You didn't have your Billboard Top 100 hits.
Right.
So everyone at the picnic was jamming to the new smash hit, Bringing in the Sheaves.
Yeah.
Bringing in the sheaves, bringing in the sheaves.
Yeah, they sang the entire song.
Yeah, right. And everybody was not a mute person in the, I mean, it was their jam.
Yep.
So and it's at this barbecue or whatever that the lady is basically convinced that, like, you need to be with this man, he's your future.
Yeah.
By this old bat lady that you're talking about.
This horrible woman that interferes in her life.
Yes. Horrible woman.
She gets shoved into this relationship with this guy. And we as the audience know, the son knows something's going on. But we all know that he wants that money. He'll
Yeah.
do whatever it takes to get it. He just doesn't know where it's at.
Right, that's right. And so in this shop, we forgot to say, he says that he used to work at the prison and that he was there to deliver a doll per the request of the kid's fathers to the daughter.
Mm-hmm.
And so he brings it, and that's kind of how he's introduced to everybody. Once again, then he goes to the barbecue / karaoke of bringing in the sheaves scene. And the only place, the son is not having anything to do with this guy. He knows where this is headed, and he doesn't want anything to do with the guy. And the only place that the kid has to go to just kind of get away from it all is his uncle, who lives down by the river, not in a van by the river.
Not in a van, no.
No, he lives in a shack down by the river.
Lives in a shack down by the river.
And the first thing that he does is offer this, what do we say? This kid's like 10 years old, maybe?
Yeah.
Offers this 10-year-old kid hot black coffee.
Yeah. Yes. Here you go, kid. Put some hair in your chest.
Different time.
I'm your uncle.
Now, to be clear, the uncle sweetened his up a little bit with some liquor.
Yes.
Which he did not give to the kid. I don't know why. It's not like it's very far off. Damn.
No.
But at least he's a good uncle in that sense. He's not contributing to the drunkenness of minors.
Yeah. Uncle Bertie, who really looks out for the kid. And
His only escape, really. He goes there to go fishing with him and help, fix the boats and those kinds of things.
A lot of the adults in this movie, not just the bad guy here, a lot of the adults mistreat the kids.
Yeah. I mean, it was definitely a different time. The vast difference in how people treated children then versus now.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Like getting a switch.
Yeah.
Like this is not even like a person that's related to you.
Right.
They'll just whoosh.
Yes.
It's ridiculous.
Literally, at one point, she tells the kids to go play on a pier. They go out on the pier to play, and then she yells at them for playing on the pier. It's like nothing these kids they can't do anything right.
That's right.
And on top of that, they got this this guy hanging around, and so things are going to get dark very quickly. But it's already dark. They've lost their father. Mm-hmm. All the other kids are making fun of them. They don't fit in anywhere. They only have themselves. They can't even depend on their mother because she's just kind of. I don't want to call her a bad mother, but she's overwhelmed.
She's definitely overwhelmed. She didn't want to be in the relationship to begin with. She's being pushed into it, but now that she's pushed into it, she's 100% devoted.
Yes, and because that's what you did.
Exactly.
That's the time. The kids were supposed to behave. The wife's supposed to do
as she's
womanly
told.
Thing, and that's it. There's really nothing to look forward to for these people.
But once they were married, she was all in.
Yeah.
She was looking forward to starting this new life and to starting this. There's a scene where she's looking in the mirror. I guess it's on her wedding night, and she's just kind of, not in a vain way, but she's just admiring herself. Like I can't believe this is good. This is what God's plan is for me, and he brought me this respectable preacher,
as opposed to a felon.
Exactly. So she's definitely playing herself up, and it immediately takes a turn.
Yeah.
And that's literally this scene. You can't see the poster if you're just listening, but there's a scene where she's pleading with him basically, and he immediately gives her the cold shoulder on their wedding night.
Yeah. he may be a serial killer who kills women, but he has no interest in sex.
No, he has more interest in money and killing.
Yeah,
and preaching
than
he does in sex. So it immediately does something to her.
Yeah,
she immediately sees it as you're right. I was thinking sinfully. You're the preacher. You're the man. You're the person that's guiding me on my correct light. Instantly in a cultish kind of demeanor.
Very quickly.
Very quickly.
Yeah.
But that really sets everything else in motion.
Right.
He immediately starts bugging the kids for the money.
Yeah.
Where is this money? But he's gaslighting, and the mother just thinks that, he keeps telling her, I'm not ever asking him these things. Look, the daughter loves me.
Yeah.
It's just your son. Your son's being crazy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
My
It even tells him they're going to believe me, not you.
like straight to his face anytime the mother's not around.
Yeah. And it isn't
Man.
until she accidentally sees something that he blows his cover.
That's right.
And then after that, let's just save it. Mama no more.
Yeah, she I think she knows it too.
She knows it and she accepts it.
She accepts it.
It's kind of a cult, like you talked about. It's a very cult kind of death.
Right. It's she drank the Kool-Aid.
Yeah.
And now it's the
Yeah.
So, but it's here's where things get crazy. This is where you actually kind of get the first-hand knowledge of, oh, this guy's a psychopath.
Yes.
Yeah. Because of how he gets rid of her.
Yes. Yeah. And it's the movie, we should say, the cinematography in the movie, black and white,
Oh.
expressionist,
Uh-huh.
elongated shadows.
Yes. Very film noir.
Very film noir. A lot of
Impressionistic,
silhouettes.
yeah.
A lot of silhouettes. There's beautiful, beautiful.
Just
cinematography
striking
going on.
images. Yes. Very
And
striking.
a lot of it is told just through the images. And for instance, when he does do away with her, he sort of starts a car in the middle of the night and drives off.
Mhm.
The next day, the mother's not around. A few days later, Uncle Bertie's fishing and he catches something.
That's right.
And when he looks down into the water, he sees this. It's a beautiful scene, a very tragic scene, but it's a very beautiful, haunting scene of the wife in the car at the bottom of the lake.
Absolutely. I mean, this is a dark movie, and I can only imagine how it was received at the time.
It was not received well.
Right. It just, but like, I just imagining being in the movie theater watching this, it's just like this stuff wasn't shown.
Yeah, this guy just killed this kid's mother.
This guy who's claiming to be a preacher.
Yeah.
And preaching the word, and yeah, it's just. Whew.
And so the two kids realize they have to go on the run.
Mm-hmm.
And I should say that we as an audience know where the money is hidden the entire time.
That's right. It's revealed. We won't say it here,
but we know where the money is hidden. So the kids go on the run and spend the rest of the movie trying to evade him as he goes searching for them.
That's right.
And according to him, what he tells the adults back in town is, oh, they must have run away from me. The harlot woman left me in the middle of the night for another man, and now the kids have run away from me. Now I got to go find them.
That's right. And they go down to the river after trying to lock him in the basement.
Right.
And they succeed to lock him in the basement because they tell him where the money's hidden, even though it's it's fabrication. But they do it as a ploy to get him locked in the basement so that they can escape. And they do.
Mm-hmm.
They escape down to the river. He just about catches them because he breaks through their little trap that they set. And so he knows that they're on the run and no longer in that town.
And they have no adults to depend on.
No.
They run to get help from his uncle, who he could always, he thinks, depend on. But when he gets there, he's a drunk. He's passed out.
Right.
He's ineffective.
So they make the decision to go down on the river. And there's a scene where the little girl is singing this lullaby. And it's her name's Pearl. The daughter's name's Pearl. She starts singing this lullaby, and it keeps cutting away to all these shots of wildlife, various wildlife and amphibians.
Mm-hmm.
And, I just kept thinking, please don't let this turn into a Disney musical where all these animals and amphibians start singing along. Or like that scene.
The alligator comes up, hey, kids.
Or like that scene from The Three Amigos where they're boom, 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 boom.
Yes.
I was just waiting for it because they kept cutting back to him quite a few times.
I think they were cutting to that because the girl wasn't singing. And I don't think she could probably lip sync
right.
that
It's
well.
definitely coverage, and it's definitely setting a mood, and it's setting, I get it.
Yeah.
But that's just where my, 2026 brain goes.
There's a lot of great acting in this show. a lot of great acting. The little boy is really good. The little girl is a little girl. She is what she is. She does what she can.
Right.
So trying to make her sing and look like she's singing probably wasn't cutting it.
But I will say, she talked like she was from a 1930s reporter.
Yeah.
Tell us what we want to hear, Daddy.
Yeah.
You know,
She did sound like that. Yeah, like she was 24 years old. I know,
yeah.
it could have been 24. She could have been. Who knows?
That's right. It's different times.
Probably filmed her or she's an adult woman, but they made her look small. I don't know. like Lord of the Rings.
Forced perspective.
Yeah. But anyway, yeah, they're on the run. They're in a boat, and they wash ashore, kind of like and there's an old lady, an old widow that lives in this house with a bunch of kids, and she sort of this is the Depression, so her role in life, she thinks, is to protect children.
That's right, yeah. And she's accepted it, and she's fine with it.
And so she has all these children that live with her. 2 more children show up, and of course she's got a little whip thing, and she's all like,
right,
whack, whack, doing this stuff, and give them a bath, and then they do chores, and they make they work.
They start to feel safe.
Yeah, and then they start to feel safe.
This lady's not asking where money is. She has no idea.
Right. Very, very kind woman.
Yep.
Just wants you to work, earn your keep.
Everybody works. Everybody gets fed.
Yeah, very kind woman.
Yeah.
And then El Devil shows back up.
That's right. He actually shows up. They go into town to sell all their apples and eggs and all these different various things that are on their land, their property, to make their money. And one of the older girls spots the preacher right outside like the malt shop. The girl's there actually to meet up with one of the other boys that are a little bit closer to her age.
Yeah, the bad boys.
The bad boys, right. That are wearing I don't know if they have braces, but they look like nerds.
Yes.
It's very funny juxtaposition visually for them being the bad boys. But immediately preacher steps in, and this girl is just, head over heels, for him. So they go in the malt shop, and she has a banana split or something, and
gives away
right
that the kids are there.
That's right.
That he's been looking for. And
immediately, once he hears this,
he's done with her.
He's out the door. Yes, right.
I should say, during that scene, once she gives him the information he needs, he knows where the kids are.
Oh yeah,
he's going to kill her.
That's right.
And she is saved by those two
nerdy boys walking out there.
He was going to kill her, and then they kind of popped up.
He walks around with a switchblade. That's his murder weapon of choice.
Yeah, is
a switchblade, and so he's literally has it in his pocket, and does a little flick of it, and it's very. If you want to think about it, there's a little bit of innuendo every time he uses it.
They used, back in the day, the 50s and 60s, whenever someone was having sex, you see somebody kissing, and they would cut to a train going into a tunnel.
Right. In this case, it's almost like, I don't know, a projectile from his pocket. And just go with that with what you will.
Popping out.
So that he immediately pops that little stabbing device, we'll say, through his coat, and that's when the kids come up. They don't see any of that, but they ended up saving her life, basically.
Yeah. But once he's done with her, he's done. He moves on.
But he knows where to go now.
Now he knows where to go.
That's right.
And so the next thing you know, he makes a stop by, and the old widow, you think, because of the entire movie, he's been fooling everybody.
That's right. And she reads the Bible to the kids every night.
Yeah.
She reads them and tries to associate stories from the Bible to the lives that they're living.
Yes.
And to associate people in the Bible to the people to her children, I guess, as a confidence booster of some sorts, So you immediately think it's like that she could be won over by this preacher because he's preaching the word.
But she kind of sees right through him. He
almost immediately.
Yeah. And gets a shotgun out. He's about to go after the kid, and she's there with the shotgun to save the day. But he says, "I'll be back."
That's right. And he does come back. And this is a great, that we were talking earlier about just the visuals in this movie.
Yeah.
Fantastic. And I say this jokingly here shortly, but this is a fantastic visual. But there's a great silhouette of the foster lady, and it almost looks like the famous painting of Whistler's Mother. But with a shotgun.
Yes. And he is right outside her house, sitting in her front yard, singing.
That's right.
And she's in a rocking chair with her shotgun. The kids are, hiding inside the house.
Right.
And he's just taunting her.
That's right.
Waiting for her to go to sleep, waiting for her to let her guard down. And of course, he's given a moment.
Well, so he's singing his song like he always does. And one of the things that she does is she joins in.
She joins him.
And it's kind of like where you can start to see the wheels turn there. It's just like, oh, you want to be creepy and sing out? I can do that too.
Yeah.
And I know the song you're singing.
Yeah. Yes.
You want to play that game? I'm going to play that game.
But she's got her eye on him. She knows where he's at. And then he's given an opportunity to kind of escape her eye line.
That's right.
And once they don't know where he's at, then she calls all the children together. They're in the house. They're watching the windows. They're watching the doors. They don't know where he's at. And boom, pops up. And let's just say the old lady kind of takes care of him.
That's right. That's right. Well, she takes care of business. We won't say, whether he lives or dies or anything else like that. But, she takes care of business, and, then the movie continues from there. Once again, we won't give away the complete ending there.
I will say this. He's been menacing and powerful. He's a powerful, menacing figure. But at the end of the movie, he's a joke.
That's right.
That's right. He's a joke.
And here, and
all it
the
takes
sounds
is,
that
all
he
it
makes.
takes is one person to stand up to him, and he falls apart.
And specifically a woman, I think,
Yes, an old woman at that.
And right.
So his worst nightmare being outsmarted by a woman, he's just very pathetic. It shows that he's very pathetic.
Yes.
And I love how that sound he makes as he runs away. If you remember Daffy Duck in the Warner Brothers cartoons as he's running away, it's like, whoa, 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 whoa. It really literally sounded like that as he's running away.
It does. Yes. You're right. You're right.
Just pathetic. You see him for who he truly is.
Okay. We're going to hit pause for a moment.
Don't eject that tape.
Ray, if a preacher showed up at your front door asking to spend the night, what would you do?
Does he look like Robert Mitchum?
Let's say yes.
Can I politely tell him the motel's down the road and unlock every door in the house?
Smart man.
Now, if my buddy showed up carrying a 6-pack of Lone Star,
different story?
Yeah, he's definitely invited inside.
Okay, see, now that's the difference. One brings terror.
And the other brings Texas.
Lone Star Beer, the unofficial sponsor of Forgotten Films, and significantly less terrifying than Robert Mitchum. The beers are cold.
The takes are questionable.
Let's continue. All right, let's talk about the behind the scenes. This is where we're going to talk about cast, crew, production challenges, budgets, box office, fun trivia stories, all that good stuff. I'm going to start off with saying one thing here. Robert Mitchum has love and hate written on his hands. Jake from the Blues Brothers had Jake, and Elwood had Elwood written on his. Ray, what do you have written on your hands?
Oh, so I remember my name.
Oh, what is it? Aaron Ray. Okay.
Yeah.
That's very cool.
Yeah,
I like
so I
that.
can remember. Anytime I'm talking to somebody, I go, yeah, my name's Aaron Ray. And, yeah. It really works out. It helps.
Well, I decided to go ahead and tattoo Lone Star, our sponsor.
Sponsor suck up alert. But hey.
Hey, it fits.
It fits.
It fits perfectly. So yeah, that's what I've got on mine. The character Preacher, his character is actually based on a real life serial killer named Harry Powers.
Yes.
Harry Powers. Not Harry Potter.
No.
Just so you know.
Right. Yeah, and he was a serial killer who was executed in 1932 in West Virginia. And he wasn't called the Lonely Heart Killer, but he did answer Lonely Heart ads in the newspapers, and that's how he picked out his victims. And he killed a lot of old ladies, widows, old ladies for their money, and before he was finally caught and put to death.
Monster. What a monster.
And the writer of the book, David Scrub, that's what he based the book on this guy.
He don't want no scrubs.
No, he does not. And so they based the movie on his book. But that's where it came from. The idea for this movie came from that. And Charles Laughton he got together with the screenwriter, and because he loved the book, he loved what he called a dark expressionistic fairy tale.
Yes.
Or a nightmarish Mother Goose story. Which
Yes.
I love that description.
I do too. I mean, and I didn't know that bit of information until after the film, until after I watched it. But man, that ties it up in a nice little bow, because that's exactly what it felt like.
Yeah. Yes. And he went in, Charles Laughton, the director, who again, I say this, Charles Laughton is a great actor. If you've never seen or never heard of Charles Laughton, he's a great actor. Won an Oscar, nominated for 2 more. This is the only film he solely directed.
That's right.
And the reason why is because when it came out, it was critically panned. It was a box office flop. And he took the failure so personally that he never attempted to direct another film.
Which is a shame.
It's a very big time shame. There's another thing that he said when he set out to make this film is he wanted to capture the power of silent movies, the movies that he grew up on. He said that when people used to go see silent movies, it was kind of like church. They really respected the medium, and everybody set up straight. Everybody wore suit and ties to these things, and
now in 1955,
and everybody's kind of not paying attention to the movie. Everybody's kind of goofing off. He wanted to bring the seriousness and the
edge of your seat, basically.
Edge of your seat back.
Yeah, he's like, I wanted people to sit up in their seats again.
So he wanted a silent movie that just happened to have sound.
Yeah. And I think he pulled it off.
Yeah.
I really do. I mean, I think that actually works. Here's something else that I think is really interesting about this. There was this helicopter shot, and
I wondered about that too.
It was very shaky. And I was just like, that's, I mean, I get the technology of the time, and, I guess they didn't really have a way to stabilize it like we can do now. And it just kind of
was probably cranking it.
Right, exactly. And what was interesting to me is that I later found out after I watched the movie, that it was one of the first films actually to use a helicopter mounted camera.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
I wondered about that. I was watching it, going, did they use a crane on this? Because I know they used to use cranes on this. You think of Gone with the Wind,
right?
Scarlett O'Hara in the middle of a field, and the camera rises up above her. It's like, how they do that? Well, they had giant cranes.
Right. But those could have some really smooth motion to them because they're counterweighted, kind of like our microphone stands are here. But the helicopter, they were breaking new ground with that stuff, which I just think is always neat whenever you get to break new ground.
Doing pretty intricate shots with it too. Mm-hmm. If I remember correctly, it's kind of like you're seeing a bunch of kids playing a game on a schoolyard, and they run into a basement, or right before they run into a basement, the camera kind of zooms in on the basement, and you see what they're looking at inside the basement. It's like how they do that shot.
All in one go, right? Yeah.
Pretty neat.
Yeah, it's very cool. One of the things that I also heard is that Stephen King says that, in his opinion, this is one of the scariest movies of all time. That's high praise.
Yeah. Yes.
That is high praise.
Yeah. It's definitely creepy. I can imagine at its time, you got to think about it. This is 1955. This is 5 years before Psycho.
Oh, yeah.
We're a decade away from Night of the Living Dead, and then those 70s horror films, The Exorcist. Terror in movies happened in increments.
Absolutely.
And when these movies came out, and as effective as they were, a lot of the movies I just talked about, maybe critics went after it. Maybe audiences weren't ready for it.
Right. They didn't know how to.
Yeah. And it takes certain films to break that ground, break that barrier, to make the way for other films to be made, like Psycho. So I think it took Night of the Hunter before you could make Psycho, before you could make Rosemary's Baby, before you could make, just.
Absolutely. Natural progression.
But this film, unfortunately, was released at a time when people didn't want to see that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
They didn't want to see widows being murdered, even though you don't see her being killed.
Right.
Or, the mother of these children being murdered and left at the bottom of a lake.
That's right.
Him going after children.
Yeah.
Not that that's never happened in a movie before, but these kids were really in danger. Maybe people weren't ready for this movie then. In the years since, decades since, yes, it's now seen as a classic. It's seen as one of the greatest movies ever made, but it hurt the director, hurt his career. A lot of actors turned the role down in the beginning because they didn't want it to hurt their career. They saw that.
Yes, I mean that was verbatim. The reason that they're turning him down is because like this can be a career killer, and people just didn't do that at the time.
Right.
You know, you played the good guy or you played the bad guy,
Right.
and you especially didn't flip flop back and forth.
Right.
It's just not the way that cinema was done back then. You know,
And the studio they didn't want to cast a character actor. They wanted to cast a movie star.
right,
And so they were casting people who play good guys.
right.
And so,
Because bad guys weren't really played by movie stars.
You're right.
You know,
So they approached a number of actors before Robert Mitchum took the role. Like the director wanted Gary Cooper.
Yeah.
Gary Cooper is a hero,
Yes.
a screen hero. He thought it would end his career. He said no. There were other actors that were interested, more like character actors, like
Clark
Olivier.
Gable was one of the other ones. Yeah, Lawrence Olivier.
They just couldn't get their free time in their schedule. And so he thought, the director, Laughton, thought, I'm just going to approach an actor who I think could pull this off, and that's Robert Mitchum. Because at the time, he, at various times in his career, is considered either box office poison or Hollywood's bad boy. Like, you never know if he's going to be in prison or in jail.
That's right.
Because he got into trouble. He got in trouble a lot.
Yes, he did.
He romanced a lot of women. They used to have Hollywood fixers back then that would help
Right.
with
Clean up
actors
those
like
situations,
this. Yeah,
yes.
so he got in trouble with a lot of women. He got arrested a lot for marijuana. A lot of pot bust.
okay, I
A lot
didn't
of pot
know that.
bust. And so he was kind of considered for time.
He does kind of have those pot eyes, though.
And he definitely was a hellraiser. And so when the director came to him, he said, look, you're going to be playing a real evil shit in this movie. And he said,
Present.
present. And he knew right then, oh, this is my guy.
Yeah.
So when it came time to cast the widow, he had a choice of a lot of these actresses like Agnes Moorehead, who we all know as Endora from Bewitched.
Right.
Grace Kelly, one of the most beautiful women ever made, ever born, ever made.
Ever to grace the screen.
Betty Grable. Like, he considered all these leading ladies for this role. He chose Shelley Winters because she was more of a serious actor than a movie star.
Right.
That was his reasoning. And then when it came to picking the other lead female in the film, the widow, Rachel Cooper, Charles Laughton asked his wife, Elsa Lanchester, who, as you're a film fan, you know that she was the bride of Frankenstein.
Oh, okay. There we go.
But she turned the role down. He never knew why, but his own wife turned him down. And then when she
Let's hope it was just for the movie.
But she did say you should look at Lillian Gish, who was a silent screen superstar.
Oh.
Who, when talkies came in, she was sort of forgotten.
Okay.
She's one of those,
Not all silent film stars made the transition.
yeah. And for whatever reason, she was the sweetheart of her day.
Okay.
She was the Julia Roberts. She was the Sandra Bullock, and then she was forgotten. And even Charles Laughton didn't know if Lillian Gish should pull this role off. But when he screen tested her, she was amazing.
Yeah.
And he said, and plus it reminded him that I went into this with the idea of making a silent movie that just happens to have sound. Why not get the silent movie
Absolutely.
superstar?
Yeah.
And when he asked her, why do you want me to be in this role? He said, you have the power to make people sit up in their seats.
Which is what he wanted.
Yeah. And so he cast this film really well. And there's another actor, Peter Graves, who plays the kid's father. We all know him from, if you remember, Mission Impossible, a TV series, and also Airplane, the comedy from 1980, where he played one of the pilots. And he said, Timmy, when he was making inappropriate remarks to the kid in the cockpit.
Yes.
Have you ever seen a grown man naked?
You like to watch gladiators, wrestling, something along those lines.
You like gladiator movies?
So here's a little trivia for you. I don't know if you know this or not, but Peter Graves is related to me.
He is.
He's like my second cousin. I can't remember.
You're also related to James Arness because they're brothers.
Because they're brothers. And so if you go on IMDb and look up their names, I guess it was their mother's maiden name was Doosler.
Wow.
And so that's, yeah. So it says their name, Peter Doosler Graves.
Really?
Yeah. Or however he may have his official name as Arness on there. But yeah. So both of those guys are related to me. Isn't that crazy?
That's freaking awesome. I mean, Peter Graves, my God. And then on top of that, James Arness.
Or I should
Matt-
say I'm related to them, not they're related to me. I'm related to them.
Like you're related to Matt Dillon from Gunsmoke.
I'll take it, man. I'll take it.
And the original Thing. He played the original Thing.
Yep, that's right.
Wow. I didn't know that. That's amazing.
I haven't been able to weave myself into trivia here, but I tried to do it this time.
I had no idea. That's pretty awesome.
Thanks. All right, now it's time for our staff picks. This is our MVPs. You know, that can consist of cast, crew, scene, song, quotes, all of the above. Ray, what are some of your MVPs?
It's really difficult to narrow down to one, so I have a bunch. But Robert Mitchum is amazing in this. He
Absolutely.
took a big chance playing the role, wasn't afraid to go dark, so he has a lot of balls.
And knocked it out of the park.
And in this movie and Cape Fear, where he played the villain again in 1962, he made evil sexy.
Yeah.
And I think he probably made people nervous.
Yes, because I think it hit a little too close to home for some people.
Yeah.
It's like, wait, so if they're nice, they can be bad?
Yes. If they look like Robert Mitchum, they can be a killer.
That's right.
Yeah, because everybody probably thought of knuckle dragging,
yes,
character
big,
actors.
big ape, big
Not this guy.
brute of a man.
Yeah. And then there's also Lillian Gish, who plays the widow, Rachel Cooper, that takes in the kids. The very sweet lady takes in the kids.
Yes.
She has some of my favorite lines in the movie. And there's a line she says, it's a hard world for little things. And then at the end of the movie, she says, kids are the strongest people in the world. Something to that effect.
Yeah.
They have to be. They have to be the bravest and strongest when they're young. Children are man at his strongest. They abide and they endure. Now, when I heard her say they abide,
I know
and
somebody
they
else.
endure.
Yeah,
who
I know somebody else that
abides?
abides. That would be the dude.
So you wonder if the
The
Coen brothers
dude.
are big fans of this movie.
Oh, I'm sure.
So I'm sure they abide.
The dude
You see him in
abides.
the audience going,
Yeah.
writing down. I'm going to use that someday. in a
I
movie."
know a guy that could abide.
But I also think the reason why Coen brothers may be a fan of this movie is there are scenes in this movie where the preacher is riding a horse at night on the horizon.
Mm-hmm.
And it kind of reminded me of True Grit. There's a scene in True Grit
Yes.
where Maddie, the girl, has been bitten by a rattlesnake, and a rooster has her on his horse, and he's riding all night long to get her to a hospital, to a doctor.
It's another great film.
And the style was it struck me very similar.
Mm-hmm.
And in this movie, that scene that I'm talking about, where he's riding a horse on the horizon, there's a scene where the kids are hiding from him,
Right.
and they hide in this barn. And as they're in the barn, you can see out the barn, out to the horizon, and you hear him singing.
Mm-hmm.
And then you hear him on his horse, or he's riding his horse on the horizon.
I wonder if it's a horse with no name.
It's probably a horse with no name. But in real life, that was probably 20 feet away.
Oh, and they just did some forced perspective there.
But
huh?
the movie makes it look like they're
Yeah,
further. And then
yeah.
how they did that was they had a dwarf riding a small,
That's
either
awesome.
a pony or horse, or a baby horse or something, to make
then-
it look.
And you see
further
Peter
away.
Jackson taking notes.
Yeah.
Here we go, some hobbits.
And that goes back to we were talking about cinematography earlier.
yeah,
The kids in the barn looking out, and you see him on the horizon. It's just a beautiful shot.
it really is. So there's another foster lady quote that I thought was hilarious when she's seeing these women, you know, because like she takes in all these. You can even tell some of the children that she has are women that are still in the town.
Yeah.
Right? And so she's looking at this one woman who's just, you know, kind of swooning or kind of hanging on to this guy that she likes. And she's just kind of shaking her head and says, women is fools.
Yeah.
It's like, I like that. I like that quote.
Women as fools. She's great in this movie.
She's got some great lines.
It's hard to pick her over Robert Mitchum in this movie because they're both so great. So it's a tie
Okay.
as far as acting goes. As far as my MVP, I'm gonna have to pick cinematographer. We've talked about cinematography in this movie, and it was done by a guy named Stanley Cortez. The shot looking out the barn, the shot of the mother's dead body at the bottom of the lake, which was done by putting a mannequin in the car at the bottom of the lake and putting a Shelley Winters mask
and
over her.
And then shooting it through one of the tanks.
Yeah.
That they had. I mean, just amazing.
And
amazing
it's
shot.
just a beautiful shot. And so I'm going to give it to him. I could easily have given it to Charles Laughton. And I should say to you that he's one of the greatest screen actors. He won an Oscar for The Private Life of Henry VIII. He was nominated for playing Captain Bligh in Mutiny on the Bounty. If you've never seen Mutiny on the Bounty in 1935's Mutiny on the Bounty, Clark Gable, Charles Laughton, what a great movie. And he also played the title role in Hunchback of Notre Dame, 39.
Man.
Great performance.
No kidding.
He was also nominated for Witness for the Prosecution. He played a very arrogant lawyer. He could play good guys and bad guys.
Yes.
But he always did it in a way you still liked him.
Right.
And one of my favorite roles of his, he played a senator named Gracchus in Spartacus with Kirk Douglas.
Oh.
And he is so good in that movie. I love Spartacus, and Spartacus has so many great things in it.
Hey, Ray.
He
Did you know
is the best part.
Did you know I am Spartacus?
I did not know that. My God, what else are we going to find out tonight? This is amazing.
Everybody in the audience, please also say I am Spartacus.
That's amazing.
Thank you.
So, yeah, I'm going to pick. I could easily pick Charles Laughton as the director, and I wish he would have made more films.
Yeah.
But I'm going to pick cinematographer here.
Okay. That totally checks out. You know, this is still part of our staff picks here. I'm going to go back to Candy Store Lady. Yeah, I know.
My least favorite character. And I'm not putting down the actress.
Right.
She's playing a role.
Right.
She played it really well.
Yes, you did not like this character. And so she accomplished her
She's kind
goal.
of responsible for.
Yeah, it's
If it
true.
weren't for her.
Uh-huh.
But then again, if it weren't for her, we wouldn't have a movie.
That's true. It's true. You got to hate somebody that's a good person. She's your person.
Yeah. Yeah.
She's got this great line, and she has a couple of them, but this, I couldn't even write down all of them. She's telling those kids, once again, they're out there by the river or whatever at this barbecue/picnic, and she tells them, "You kids get over here and stop shimmy-shallying around." I've never heard that phrase before. Shimmy-shallying.
Shelling. And it's after she told him to go over there.
Yes. Go over there.
Mind you, they were hanging around at the table with them. She wanted to have a discussion with her mother. So she said, you go over there and play. So the kids went over and they were doing what they were told.
That's right.
And then what does she do?
Yeah. You kids get over here and stop shimmy-shallying around. Okay. Well, I'm gonna start using that one down now.
Yeah. There you go. Just one more reason why I didn't like that woman. Good Lord.
So the mother of the kids also had a great line. This is after the preacher tells the mother that the husband had told him where he buried the money. And it's a lie that he tells her. And he tells her that, it's buried at the bottom of the lake, and it's, nobody's ever getting it, basically. It's destroyed.
Yeah.
And she has this blissful moment. And she says, "I feel clean now. My whole body's just a quivering with cleanness."
Yeah.
And just, I don't know if it's the way she said it or just but great line.
Yeah.
Just hilarious to me. So if I'm going to get into my staff picks I've got a couple. So my favorite actor is definitely the foster lady.
Yeah.
She was a badass in this movie. Yeah. She didn't take shit. She wasn't a pushover.
Yeah.
She held her ground.
Religious without being overbearing.
Or evil.
Just kind.
Yeah. Yeah. And it totally comes through. So yeah, absolutely my favorite character. Favorite scene involves this same lady. And it's the duet with the preacher and her.
Little standoff.
Yes. I mean, it's just like it might as well have been an Old West face off for a duel.
I think what he was trying to do was lull her to sleep.
Right. Right.
He was singing. He knew she was tired. You could see her eyes drooping as she's in the front porch in a rocking chair. It's late at night. I could tell he's trying to lull her to sleep, maybe.
Yeah. Or just wait her out.
Wait her out.
Yeah.
And then she just joins in.
Yeah. Like second verse, same as the first.
Yeah, I'm not intimidated by you.
Not at all.
Yeah.
Not at all.
She may have been.
But she wasn't showing those cards.
She wasn't showing them.
Yeah. So that scene definitely makes my pick there. And then, of course, my favorite song, I mean, it's Bringing in the Sheaves.
Yeah.
It's got to
karaoke
be.
classic.
Bringing in the Sheaves.
I know that when you worked at Graham Central Station back in the day, you used to sing that every night, and it was a big hit.
It was my show closer.
It was your show closer.
Yeah. And I welcomed anybody up on stage.
Yeah.
And then we
It's
all
better
just
with a group.
Yeah, Bringing in the Sheaves.
Yes.
That's totally my...
Yeah.
That's totally my song.
I was just waiting for Casey Kasem to come over the radio.
Sure.
And that was
There's Casey Kasem top 100 hits. That was Bringing in the Sheaves
waiting for that to happen.
across the nation. Number one song.
Somebody wrote me a letter. It said,
That's right. Somebody
I'm
wrote
looking for some money, and these kids know where it is. So this song is devoted to them. So kids, whoever you are, here's your song.
Here's Robert Mitchum singing Bringing in the Sheaves.
Tell him where that money is. Or he's going to keep doing this.
I did not have Casey Kasem impressions on my bucket list for today. Oh my God, that's great. All right, Ray, time for the big question.
Forgotten?
Or forgotten for a reason.
My verdict, it definitely doesn't need to be forgotten.
Yeah, it's just forgotten.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not forgotten for a reason. There's nothing bad that doesn't hold up today or anything else like that. It's black and white film. I think black and white films just automatically fall off for a lot of modern audiences, falls off their radar, But man, do not let that prevent you from watching this movie.
I should really, when I think about forgotten or not forgotten, I don't think people in my generation would forget it. But yeah, I need to start thinking about the younger generation. But there are some people that just refuse to watch just because it's black and white.
Black and white or subtitles.
Yeah, so
neither one of those things
I think it's
bother
going
me.
to be forgotten because of that,
Right.
sadly.
But it shouldn't be.
But it
forgotten.
shouldn't be.
Yeah, absolutely. 100% agree. Now it's time for our rewind recommendations. These are our recommendations for if you liked this film, some other films that you might like.
To get you kind of in the mood for this movie, and again, these are all pretty old films.
Drink a Lone Star beer.
Drink a Lone Star beer and check out some of these old films.
Okay.
Touch of Evil, Orson Welles movie,
Oh.
1958.
Okay.
He's great in that. Cape Fear, which also stars Robert Mitchum.
Cape Fear, that's a
From
great movie.
1962, Cape Fear with Robert Mitchum. And then Double Indemnity from 1944.
Oh, yeah. Yes.
The Third Man, again, Orson Welles stars
Oh,
in it.
yeah, of course.
He's such a good villain in that. And then there's The Sweet Smell of Success, which stars Burt Lancaster and Tony Curtis.
I haven't heard of that one.
And man, you talk about horrible characters, just horrible people doing horrible things. It is. That's what all those movies have in common. And I'm going to say it one more time. If it weren't for this film and these films, we wouldn't have some of the films that we have today.
Yes.
I love those kind of films.
Yeah.
And these kind of films, unfortunately, this film failed. I wish it would have been a success because then Charles Laughton would have made more films.
But it failed so these others could succeed.
But it failed so these other films could make it.
Yeah, absolutely agree. Okay. Well, I've got a guest here sitting in my lap. That's my dog, Prince. He made an appearance on one of these other episodes. That's one more forgotten film remembered. The Night of the Hunter.
And it's 93 minutes long, came out in 1955, directed by Charles Laughton, starring Robert Mitchum in one of his best roles.
Please remember to be kind, rewind, comment, like, and subscribe. Join us on our next episode where we have a music movie
With a great cast.
and great music.
Silence of the Lambs.
You'll have to wait and see. Until next time, I'm Jed,
And I'm Ray.
And this is Forgotten Films reminding you to crack a cold one.
And watch a forgotten one.